And that's, there's a lot of sense in that story. If you remember Tennessee Williams, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, the protagonist in that was Big Daddy. And Big Daddy had a son whose name was Brick. And Brick and Big Daddy had become very, very estranged. They were at odds with each other, big, big time. And one day, Brick came over to Big Daddy's house, and they went down in the basement where there were all sorts of really good stuff. There was sculpture. There was painting. There were just boxes all over the place full of expensive things. And Big Daddy reached over and he picked up an old clock. And he held it up and he said to him, "There's one thing you cannot buy in life. At an antique store or at a floozy gift shop, you can't do it." And Brick said to him, "What is that?" And Big Daddy looked at him and he set the clock down very easily and he said, "You cannot buy life. You just can't do it. When your life is gone, you cannot buy it back." And we ought to know that. And it's important, folks, that we know that. We've got to know it. But then there's another problem with possessions. And we need to remember that no matter what we got, we cannot take it with us. When we're gone, it stays. So the final question in this parable this morning is the one that's the most pointed. Verse 20 says, "Then who will get what you have prepared for yourself?" Jesus asked that. One of these days, for sure, every one of us in this room is going to die. And somebody might publish our obituary and it'll end up in the commercial appeal back in the back pages along with the want ads. And maybe there'll be a memorial service and 35 or 40 people will be there to pay their respects. And then there might be a graveside service, a committal service of some type. And the preacher will stand there and he's going to say something like ashes to ashes and dust to dust. And he may throw the ashes into the air and let the breeze blow away, or he may watch the coffin go down into the ground. And it'll be over. And walking away from that service, nobody may say it, but you can bet somebody is thinking it. Somebody's thinking, I wonder how much old Bill left. Well, the answer to that question is very simple. Old Bill left everything. You just can't take it with you. There is no way. That's why, and this is an old one, and I like it though, you never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. That's all there is to it. You leave every bit of it here. So this morning, somewhere in this room, I think maybe Jesus is looking at us. And he may be talking to us. And he may be saying, look out. Watch out. Be careful. Don't make a fool of yourself. Separate who you are from what you have. And then you need to say to our stuff, our pile of worldly goods, you are not my life. You must never own me, and you must never be my God. And I, stuff, will not be your slave. There are folks that need to be set free today. You know people like that. I know people like that. Set free from the stuff in their lives. And my prayer this morning, and has been this week as I played with this, because I know two people end up with this, that God will help set them free from the bondage that they're in from their stuff. I went and looked in a couple of my closets. Deborah and George looked in a couple of my closets about 6 months ago. And I wasn't embarrassed because that's the way we are. But There was a lot of stuff, wasn't there, George? It's gone. We accumulate things, but we cannot let it rule us. That's what I'm getting to. Because when our stuff causes us to lose control, we can't find peace. But when we say to the stuff, you cannot control me, then we find peace. We find that peace that passes all understanding. We find that peace that God intends for us to have. I find it so interesting when she played a minute ago, "It is well with my soul, when peace like a river attendeth my way." When I'm controlled, when we're controlled by stuff, that peace isn't going to be there. But what God wants for us is to open our ears, open our hearts, and hear the words Jesus left us with, found in the book of John. You know them as well as I do. Peace I leave with you. Not stuff. Peace. My peace I give unto you. Not as the world, our stuff gives. Give I unto you. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.